Austerity Britain, volatile, bleak, stagnant. The Tories' economic programme is choking the life out of the country. The old world is dying, and the new world struggles to be born. Now is the time of monsters. Antonio Gramsci. There is a pervasive sense of hopelessness and futility. Endless corruption goes unpunished, and nothing changes. The system tells us that not only is this the best it has ever been, but the best that will ever be. Mark Fisher called this capitalist realism. It tells us it's futile to try to imagine an alternative to capitalism. For 40 years it aggressively policed the boundaries of our collective imagination for what could be considered politically possible. The flattening and deadening of our expectations and horizons. Neoliberalism, our economic model of the last 40 years, has destroyed the idea of collective action. It says there is no society, there is only millions of individual people, each one competing against the other, and each is solely responsible for their own success. If you're poor or struggling, it's your own fault. Mark wrote, "The capacity to make an infinity of meaningless choices has replaced the capacity to actually change things." Many on the left had come to accept this rigid framework, and few could conceive of an alternative. People feel jaded, disconnected, cynical. So how do you escape and alleviate this dull, aching mediocrity? Hedonism offers an enticing, if only temporary, solution. A night on the town. Momentary pleasurable sensations artificially induced. For those few hours you feel connected to a higher consciousness and a part of the human race, before you collapse into a drunken stupor. But then you go back to work, still trapped, still bored, still hopeless. Once you discover Marxism, you start to question the behaviour of the masses. Why won't they rise up? We are all theory and no action. They are all action and no theory. But because things are as they are, they won't stay as they are. This could not go on indefinitely. Out of this suffocating mass of misery and despair, something hopeful would eventually emerge. The return of solidarity. Each of us praying for transcendence. Liberation, emancipation, revolution.